welcome, poets and family. You know what it is. Finally, Thursday night has come back. Pull up a Zoom box, grab a microphone, and get comfortable. It's about to go down. Good morning, good evening, and welcome to the online open mic presented by the legendary, I say the legendary, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Elemen2al. Happy Thursday. This is the jump off, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. You know how we do this because we've been doing this and doing this and doing this well for quite some time, folks. And guess what? Here comes another one. Just as we have been doing every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X, formerly known as Twitter. If you're watching on one of these streams and would like to join us in the Zoom, which we truly appreciate you for checking in with us, the number's on your screen. 977-539-856. Jump in, join the greatest community in the world. All right, welcome to episode 28. It's gonna be amazing, no doubt. We've been doing this week after week thanks to some dedicated folks who pay these bills. All right, so we'd like to thank the New York State Department of Cultural Affairs, the Howard Gilman Foundation, the Poetry Foundation, and Brown University for hosting our free online events. You can contribute your energy to the mix with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute. Every dollar counts, trust and believe. Make sure you are plugging in with the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be, because that cat's dope, I'm telling you. This is where you can find me, Elemen2al.com. Take out the T, put in the number 2, Elemen2al.com. So many things going on, folks. So many things. Tonight's theme, PTSD, the path to healing. This is a rough, right? I like to say this is the work. Poems like this, themes like this is the work. Right? We enjoy writing about chocolate and rainbows and sunshine and summertime, right? But this right here, this is the work. This is for, all the folks who struggle with things like this. This is the work. This is the time, right? As I've said before, no matter how you're feeling, poetry can handle it. Poetry can take it. So I'm looking forward to it tonight. If your artwork is not on theme this evening, that is still totally cool. We are still looking forward to all of your incredible artistry. Trust and believe. All right. Next week's theme coming at you. Independence. Cost of freedom. The cost of freedom. All right. Yes, we will be convening on the 4th, right? But what is the cost of that? Right? We all do things and the fireworks and celebrations and all that, but what is the cost of that? What has been paid in order for us to enjoy things like that? So that's what we're going to be looking at next week. So bring your creativity, bring your pen. Let's get down. Here's some upcoming themes. This is what we're going to be getting into as the summer is closing, right? There are some things that, listen, I'm looking forward to this one too. Lots of little dicey, spicy areas. So it should be a good time. So make sure you're plugging in, folks. Let's get to the rules so we can get to the artistry. Artists, turn your cameras on. We are trying to simulate a live open mic as much as possible. Plus, we love to see all the beautiful exuberance that goes into your performances. All right, so turn your cameras on. As you're getting ready to rip, have your artwork ready as well. All right, if you're playing music, listen, our resident musicians are in the building. Make sure it is original music. We don't want the agents of the interweb interfering with our stream in any way. So make sure your music is original and that you have on your original sound for musicians. All right, original sound, original music. We are good to go. All right, also, artists, change your Zoom name to coincide with how you want people to connect with you, and we are good to go. Also, before or after you rip, make sure you are plugging your information into the chat so people can copy and paste and connect with each other. All right, we are all about building community in this place. All right, artists, you got 3 minutes to rock. All right, 30-second intro. Let folks know how they can connect with you and all the things that you do. And then let the world know what it really is and why we do what we do. All right, it's the greatest community in the world. So make sure the world knows that. We have reached night 9:30 for the babies, folks. Woo, I promise you. The members of our community may, bring about some triggering flashbacks, and there are some explicit lyricists. All right. But the founders of our cafe were major proponents on the freedom of speech, and we will make sure it maintains in the vein of everything we do. Therefore, there is no censorship. Other than any hate speech or any ism that people may use to manipulate, which will not, I said not, be tolerated, there is no censorship. What we do is a living, breathing, walking, talking trigger warning. All right? Thou hath been warned. This is a true call and response space. After our artists get up here and share a true piece of who they are, right? Bleeding on this microphone, you will see this pop up on your screen. This is when you get a chance to share all of that energy with the room, share it with the universe. Don't worry about the noise, y'all. It's the rowdiest night of the week anyway. This is about poetry, baby. It's all worth it. Plus, all of that energy that you share with the community will be returned to you in the artist performance. I promise you. The guaranteed list tonight is closed. All right, sign up in 24 hours before the show, which would be Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you go to Nuyorican.org. You click on full events calendar. You click on a Thursday that you want to get down on, and you need an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way that you're getting on the guaranteed list. And as I said, they will not populate until 24 hours before the show. If you're in the tri-state area, make sure you are plugging in with the Bowery Slam. It goes down. I'm telling you. Hosted by Jay Rose. I've seen Matthew Marroquin. Shout out Storm Lake was in there. Hosted also by DJ Luna Rosa. Goes hard in the paint. Wednesdays at the Loisaida Center with Soul Preem, another amazing spot. And, of course, Tony McPherson's spot coming up very soon. The final Friday this week is featuring a cat named Cloud. So make sure you plug in. Also, my mic sounds nice coming up very, very soon, right? End of the month, which is like this weekend. So make sure you are plugging in, folks. All right. Also, coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact, right? A friend of ours, a very good member of our community, has found himself in a very bad, healthy way, right? So we are going to be there to support our friend, to support our community member, and do everything we can to send those healing vibes to the one and only Gust of Solace. So, if there's any way you can pull up, pull up. It's gonna be a great time. A lot of artists doing their thing. You know what I mean, to support our friend and our colleague. So tonight's list. Oh my goodness! Listen, I already love Thursdays, right? Because I get a chance to hang out with y'all. But look at these incredible poets, these incredible artists, these musicians. It is gonna be an incredible night, y'all. There's all my rowdy friends here on Thursday night. What's good, good people? Oh my goodness. So good to see you. I see the plug in the building. Baba, shout out to Gods in the Earth. Daughter of Krypton is in here. Math. Oh, I see the one and only Oso Lobo. Shout out to educators in the building, man. For real. It's hard out here for a teacher. For real. But it's all work that needs to be done. It's all necessary. And I appreciate all of you for being here this evening, for sharing in this incredible time. So let's get to it, folks. Let's jump it off this evening because we have a list of incredible folks that are going to share their talents with us this evening. So let's get to it. Coming up first. And listen, I am totally cool with this cat now finding himself at the top of the list because he's one of those cats, right? You can roll the dice. Never know what this cat's got for me, right? But I love the fact that he's opening us up. The one and only Catman Bill in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Catman. It's always great to see you. Please, take it away.
Oh, forget about finding me. I prefer to be anonymous. Call me anonymous. First, I just want to shout out to a friend of mine, Cynthia Edwards in Washington. Hi, Cynthia, if you're on. So I get 3 minutes to waste perfectly good moments of your time. And I get the biggest thrill out of doing that because I don't get that often, internationally, especially. So, before I perform my brief song, I just want to say a follow up to last week. And I don't know how I got on number one again. In 2020, I used to tap that thing so fast and I'd get maybe 10 or 15. And now, boom, 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 and I'm number one. Wow. Anyway, I don't think that I should go there, but I'll just say that, I've been watching the way people hold their cell phones. And it's an abomination. I mean, they walk around town with it. They look at it. If they don't have it in. I was at a dance the other night, and women were holding their phones while they were dancing on the dance floor. Wow. I particularly watch, and I'm really questioning why women usually put their phones in their back right pocket, and all those butt calls that they're making all over the world is perplexing. And I'm sorry, I could say, if I say any more, you'll call me a male chauvinist pig, but I zero in on that phone in their back butt pocket. And enough of that. So this song is appropriate for the evening. It's called I'm a Political Prisoner, and I've done it before. And it's appropriate for this evening. And I didn't write the lyrics, actually, the person that it's about wrote the lyrics. I'm a political prisoner. Stand by me, stand by me. I'm a political prisoner. Stand by me, stand by me. They raided my house, arrested me, fingerprinted me. They took my mug shot. Now we'll go down in history. I'm a political prisoner. Stand by me, stand by me. I'm a political prisoner. Stand by me, stand by me. I'll make America fart again, fart again, fart again. I'll make America fart again. Just you wait and see. I'm a political prisoner. Stand by me, stand by me. I'm a political prisoner. Stand with me today. Thank you.
And you see, this is why I love when he starts it off, right? Because he sets that tone. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Catman Bill.
Right, Catman.
Catman.
Oh, man, cool stuff. Always cool stuff. Always cool stuff.
Very cool.
I love the fact that you always commit to what you do, no matter what it is. You commit to it and you let it rock. And this is how. This is why I love our community, right? Because of our fearless spirit, right? Because of the way that we do what we do and how we do it, right? He said holding cell phones is abomination. Sometimes it's the distraction. It's not a distraction. It is the distraction now, right? No one does anything without that thing. I'm a political prisoner. Yes. They've raided my house. Yes. Took my mug shot that will go down in history. That's a surprising one. Because every time you see someone who has gone awry of the government, what do you see first? Their mug shot. And that's it. I appreciate you, sir, for setting us off this evening. And for what you do, for being a pillar of our community. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Listen, I'm going to get to Poetastic, right? But as I mentioned this cat real quick, call this quick audible. I had to make sure that this educator got a chance to rip and let folks know what's really going on. A very dedicated member of our community all the way out on the West Coast, the one and only propaganda poet, aka Oso Lobo in the building. Come on, Prop. Man, it's good to see you. Take it away.
Thank you. Sorry for interrupting. I don't mean to jump on, but I just wanted to reiterate, Gustav needs us, y'all. Like, he's in a rough spot. So in the chat is a link to my link tree. At the top of that is a link to the flyers. It starts tomorrow night, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. Let's do what we can for a brother. I mean, he might not have much time left, so let's give him as much love and let's help him pay some bills, man, because I don't know how many of you have met him, but man, he is a unique fucking soul, and he needs us. So yeah, I got a micro if you want, real quick. I can give you like some new shit, PTSD new shit, real quick. This is for those of you who aren't aware of the most recent social media movement that is the greatest thing since Grumpy Cat. You may not understand this poem, but those of you who've been paying attention, you will. This poem is called "Of Man and Bear." So a man and a bear walk into a bar, but that's about as far as it got because the man felt that he needed to be heard. So the last thing that the bear heard was a shot. And I ain't talking about no bourbon, and I ain't talking about no scotch on the rocks. It's about being locked and loaded, being coded in a generation after generation of degradation and mutilation of manufactured retaliation, manufacturing men into believing that fear is the best way to rear children, to lead nations, to have intimate relations. And then fear becomes their facts, making retaliation their only feasible, reasonable reaction when somehow, somewhere, a bear and a woman walk into a bar and the woman says, I'll have what he's having. Thank you all. I love you all. I'm sorry I'm not here on Thursdays. Thursdays are rough for me, but I miss you all. And I would be sticking around tonight, but I do have to head to a show that I'm doing tonight. So I love you all. You're amazing. I hope you all can come by and help Gustav tomorrow. Thank you, Elemen2al, for letting me jump in. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and poetry, y'all. Like, if it weren't for y'all, my life wouldn't be what it is. Thank you.
Hey, unmute yourself. Give it up for propaganda poet.
Propaganda. Yeah.
Good job.
Wonderful, man. Great to see you.
Yeah, so
Thank you for
glad you
calling it
stopped
out,
by.
bro. Appreciate it a lot.
So glad you came by.
Thank you, propaganda. Yes, it's really nice for you to stop by.
Sometimes, sometimes we just got to make sure we make space for the right kind of energy, folks, right? Because that positive energy is something that we can all benefit from, right? Especially, when we're talking about Gustav and the type of positive energy that he shared with us. It's just about supporting a member of our community. And then Prop just comes through again, shout out to educators, comes through, talking about manufactured retaliation and, is fear the best way to rear children? Listen, it's part of the recipe. I'm not saying that that's it, but it's part of the recipe. I'm just saying I didn't go past a certain way because I knew what would happen because the fear came to my table like grits in the morning. Like, act like you know something. So, totally get it, sir. I do. And I hope that you share that with your students, right? Give them a nice glass of wake the up. For real. Last thing the bear heard was a shot. Listen. Appreciate you, Prop, for real. That cat, shout out Miramar College, man. Shout out all the incredible folks that rock in SoCal, man. For real. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's keep it rocking. Coming up next, listen, Mr. Rhyme all the time, always has one in line with what he's about to say. Trust and believe it. The one and only Eddie Foreman in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Eddie, it is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
You said, sir, I call you bro like no other with words like thunder. Woo! Thank you, Elemental. All right. You want to follow me? Please look in the chat so there's where it's at. Gustav has a creative, wonderful soul made from the purest gold. He's a poet, so outspoken, yet so bold. Got the support. All right, I have two short poems for my intro. My name is Ed Potato, fantastic. Please don't tell me to join my rhyme for Opera Sublime. I got two poets, so it won't take too much time. Poems. This is called Maniac. I lost my mind in a crazy world, left far behind in a rapid spiral. My grip on reality is wearing thin, leaving my fantasy to where or when. The walls are closing, we're stuck in a box. We kept on folding, trying to pick the lock. Maybe you're in my head, or I could be dead. I don't know what I said. My thoughts are heavy as lead. If you, like me, wanting to be free, please feel at ease. Search for help, your best guarantee. It feels like a curse, but it can get much worse. Don't let the wind disperse. Get help before it hurts. I know I don't understand, but we all need a helping hand. Sometimes it's hard to bear, but I want you to know someone cares. Thank you. And this other one, the last one is called Ever Changing Sea. I was a boy. I didn't understand joy. My mind had laggy gears, always leave me into tears. A weakness I didn't understand. I couldn't comprehend it with my hands. Now I'm smart with a big heart, weaving literary worldly art. I'm still growing and flowing. I stopped trying to be. It didn't give me glee. I stopped changing, but be more engaging. I learned an important thing. Hear it? Are you listening? Go where life takes you. Keep swimming in the blue. I know life is full of strife, but how can we learn from wrong from right? Some people can be bullies, some can be melodies. You are not at your final stage. Don't be stuck in a cage. You change every day. Please go your own way. Keep molding your clay till the cobwebs go away. Remember, you are a butterfly. You change like our baby blue sky. You might never change. Now, that's odd and strange. If you think it, so it shall be. This is a prophecy. You move like the sea. Thank you.
Oh, okay, Eddie? Okay, turn it up then. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Poetaster.
Eddie, woo!
Eddie always makes me smile. Always makes me smile. I love it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
More.
I mean, that just like a button, right? It's just like an Eddie button, right? Like instead of the whole yellow smiley face, it's just a picture of Eddie, right? Just it's the Eddie button, right? Uh, Eddie, again, you continue to do what you do, man, and I appreciate you so very much for staying dedicated to it, right? In Maniac, right? You said you lost, I lost my mind in a crazy world. Absolutely. I don't know too many people that have. We're stuck in a box. Absolutely. It's an illusion of choice. Keep that in mind. Thoughts heavy as lead, right? Get help before it hurts, right? Before it gets out of hand, get help. I want you to know someone cares. That one got me. I appreciate that, Eddie. An ever-changing sea, right? You said it was something I couldn't understand it with my hands, right? That's important when you have to just go inside yourself and really contemplate it, right? Be more engaging, go where life takes you, right? Some can be melodies. That's just a beautiful one, man, right? Like that line just speaks to how people can be multiple things, right? Not good or bad, but harmony sometimes. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Eddie, for doing what you do, man. Listen, make sure you're plugging in with Poetastic, Dad Cats, all kinds of dope. All right. So, coming up next, listen, I love when this cat comes through because there's no other person in the world like this guy. Author of Four Crescents, author of Black Calculus, this incredible former fencer will undoubtedly take your brain apart in the best of ways because this is what he does. For real. The one and only mathematics in the building. Come on, Norm. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, Maestro. Please take it away.
All right. I got two pieces, both on theme. First piece, Raised on PTSD. Thinking of all the things that occurred at the Olympics in another country. How a white athlete played ugly American and got away with it. Even leaving his comrades behind for crap and consequence. Even here in this America, white dude would have been called an asshole jerk. Maybe a get the fuck out of here, you stupid dick, by the protective agents, while white athlete Olympian Dick leaves the scene. Now, project one of our black athletes, any age, on all of the scenarios in both places. In the landscape of my mind, supposedly a safe space, the black athlete would probably be pummeled in Brazil and found dead or disappeared in the Americas I live in. I could have all this happen to me over being too full of mind and imagination. Next piece. I read this on Nuyorican Poets Cafe over 4 years ago, but it's appropriate right now. It's called Meditation Threads. Sitting straight back in the wooden desk chair, silent like meditation. Steady breathing, eyes closed, glaring at the back of my eyelids, waiting for the tick-tock. Calendar pages turn, legs shifting, feet shaking as temperatures rise and feelings start to boil. Slicing like daggers thrown from across the room, aimed at your eyes. Can't see them coming. Having thinking crazies, afraid of being seen, hoping to be obscured. Can't wrap your arms around that. I know crazy, and this ain't it. I wrapped my arms around crazy. All I was hugging was me. Lean into vulnerability, feeling safe enough to fall into chaos, walking a fine line between now and never again. standing up against the wailing winds of trauma, gusting cycles of fear, pain, horror, sexual exploitation, physical battering, emotional abuse, triggers set like minefields, torched forests burned beyond recognition. The body releases its carbon, every rock overturned, every wall crumbled. Trauma echoes, resound in the silent body that mind wears like ill-fitting pajamas. Makes us wear PTSD like calloused skin, broken bones scarred by gnashing teeth. Angers break my voice into 15 shards of glass, wood, and metal ball bearings, imploding inside a vest wearing a mask. Quarter smile turns into a dark, dangerous, terror-filled stare. Target shredded. Survivors call for extra band-aids to tape the tail on the donkey, me feeling like an ass that I grew manhood out of wild seeds thrown on fallow macho. Maybe call for a piece of liver, smothered in onions to regenerate another human being, instead of dirt turning to dust, tattooed with a mustache, expecting tree rings without nurturing the ground like you wanted something to grow. Peace.
Expecting tree rings without nurturing the ground. This dude right here. Unmute yourself. Give it up for mathematics.
Wow, Norm. Woo!
Wow. I'm gonna have to watch this and unpack some of that later. That was just too much. It's too much. That was really good, man. Really good.
Math is one of those too, man.
That was righteous. That really was. That was righteous.
Man, listen, see, that's what I'm talking about, right? As I mentioned, author of Four Crescents, also author of Black Calculus. Norm is one of those cats, right? He even said himself, raised on PTSD in the first piece, right? White person played an ugly American and got away with it. Damn. Fuck out of here, right? Right? The black athlete would be found dead and disappeared in the Americas I live in. Right? Those full of mind and imagination. Yeah. In meditation threads, right? Glaring at the back of my eyelids. I love that line, right? Wear PTSD like callous skin, right? The 15 shards of glass and the shrapnel, it just sounds like a fragmentation grenade to me. Target shredded. You said that I grew manhood out of wild seeds, right? I said expecting tree rings, but not respecting the ground. Thank you, Math. I appreciate you for doing what you do and sharing it with us. As I mentioned, make sure you are plugging in with Math, an incredible poet. All right. Coming up next, I am glad to see this next poet. She had to, she was dealing with some things, but listen, poetry is so much bigger than us, right? And it does not matter what you go through and how difficult it is. Poetry is there, and I'm telling you, it can handle it. And I am so very glad to see you, the one and only Bonnie Soloway, in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. As I said, it is great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I just had a little illness to deal with, but I'm all good. So I'm a B Soloway on all social media, but like I said before, I don't really post anything yet, but one of these days I will. But this is my favorite night of the week. This is sort of more on what's happening tonight, not necessarily the theme, but it's called The Sunshine of Your Dreams. A midday park visit has its own unique vibe. The sun's very brightness leaves nowhere to hide. Neighborhood homeless come share the bright shine on bikes by foot to recharge or recline. A group huddles down under shade of a tree, not all that different from you or from me, seeking camaraderie, comfort, and warmth, the universality of connections forged. Birds chirping loudly deep within trees, children run freely with effortless ease, basketball players setting up games, frisbees and balls tossed to dogs and reclaimed. When our eyes catch the unhoused lazing around, we sometimes prefer that they not share our ground. It's a pseudo-type ownership of a small plot of land, an entitled anointment, a self-opposed upper hand. Seems humankind, depending on mood, endorses the out of sight, out of mind rule. Mother Nature shares equally her wide open space. Free admission is part of her beauty and grace. Those who are poor or down on their luck just need to work harder, the privileged will cluck. America's low tolerance for citizens in need showcases the deadly politics of greed. From minimum wages that supports no one's life to canceling free lunches for school children in strife, from next to no help for the mentally ill to big pharma's jacked prices for the most needed pills. Greed and power decide whose lives deserve slack. Right now, it's the billionaires who loophole their tax, buying up thousands of acres of land, building rockets to fuel their every command. Be it nuclear war, a digital demise, or a weather event that we all can't survive. Thank God the billionaires will be safe and sound, up there on Mars or bunkered home underground. If you're thinking, well, hell, that ain't fair, what's next? Those rich guys start charging for air? We can turn this around. In fact, we all must, lest our democracy become a 250-year bust. It's time to bring back the American dream. It's time for Big Pharma to make Ozempic for greed. Ozempic for greed, one pill every day, will start a debloating of the rich, selfish ways. Soon enough, they'll start visiting parks when they can and absorbing respect of how Earth's beauty began. 2 pills a day, and those billionaires share their time and their treasure to show how they care. 3 pills, and they will forego rocket flights unless and until they can make life on Earth right. So that's why Mother Nature shines her suns so darn bright. Hoping against hope, there's time to make the Earth right. And the haves, the have-nots, and all in between agree to join one another to survive woes unforeseen. If it can be dreamed, it can surely get done. Nothing stays hidden under a brightly lit sun. It's how the hard truths of our world stay alive. It's how we must vote with bright, wide open eyes. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. I know all y'all heard that for real, because I did too. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bonnie Sullivan.
Nicely done, Bonnie. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Beautifully delivered, great lyrics.
Really,
Yes.
really
Wow.
Right on the money, too.
Wow.
No pun
Yeah.
intended.
Thank you.
good. Really, really good. Really, just timely. You know.
Powerful. I do not look forward to the day when we get charged for breathing air. You were so right on the money on this stuff. So that's
yeah. It's those things, right? When you strike those chords, trust me, they are undeniable. Right? They are absolutely undeniable. The sun's very brightness leaves us nowhere to hide. Yeah. The universality of connections formed. Free admission is part of her beauty and grace. Mother Earth is just, you know what I mean? But moms are, the deadly politics of greed. That's just, I love it. You said Big Pharma jacked prices for the most needed pills. I recently just watched a show about a drug that came out that got people addicted, and it was interesting to see how the actual company approached this drug. Could care less about who it killed or who it addicted. I'm trying to make $1 billion a year. That's all that matters. You said building rockets to fuel their every demand. Right? Start charging for air. Absolutely. That Ozempic for greed, though? I'll let y'all roll with that one. That was just amazing. Thank you. Ozempic for greed. That was fantastic. It will probably come, all bedazzled, you know what I mean, to make them feel like they're special, right? It'll come in a platinum container with a titanium tip or something stupid, right? Thank you, Bunny. Glad you're feeling better. Appreciate you for coming back through. Always look forward to sharing your work. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next, this cat just happened to come right in, right? Definitely got to make space for him. Love when this cat comes through, and I know he's got so many things going on, but I'm still seeing him take time to get his writing in. And I'm telling you, it's important because this cat's kind of dope. The one and only Rich Glennon in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Rich. And it's always great to see you, man. Come on, take it away.
Great to see you too, man. Thank you for all the support. Thank you, everyone, for the support. Sorry I was late. Trying to put the kids to bed, and honestly, up until about 2 minutes ago, my daughter was right next to me. So it's an ongoing process to get her down tonight. Okay, so this first one is called Ladder. Ladder. When I'm not enjoying reality, there's always a ladder called anger I can climb to go up and out of my mind into the stratosphere of swirling fights, where the last word echoes flatly the first. This next one is called let's go with this one. This one's called Couches. My daughter tightropes my legs as one and sits on me when she has the whole couch, while a lioness, sprawled on the edge of a shadow, provides yellow limbs for the cow spot fallen from the treetop and moves it where she pleases. And this last one's called Nipples. The best part of being a man is being with women. To make them titter like a bouncing dime every day, following their loss of the coin toss. In my experience, they like the cigar burns branding my chest, which are there for the audience to learn a lesson. How close I was to shouldering the burden. It starts to seep in when I make them dance. All right, thank you.
That was pretty fly, sir. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Rich Glennon.
That's Rich.
Hey, I can empathize with that ladder up to the top of your anger, bro. Anger like a drug, I'm telling you.
It's true. It's true.
Me too.
I was hoping people could relate to it.
Yep.
Anger like a drug. Absolutely, sir. That one got me too, right? When you pulled out the ladder, I was like, okay, where are we going? Like what circle are we going to, right? There's always a ladder called anger. Come on, man. Like, the thinner the air gets, the crazier it gets. Like, I love it. In the second piece, in Couches, you said, she sits on me when she has the whole couch. The whole couch. Okay. I love it, right? And then in Nipples, like, yo, right? following their loss of the coin toss, right? How close I came to shouldering the burden. Listen, love women because they have to carry them. They have to carry lots of things that I know I couldn't. So I support them as much as I possibly can. Right? I appreciate you, Rich. Listen, shout out the dads in the building, right? Shout out the struggle of fathers in the building, right? Dads don't always get the love that dads deserve, right? Because she's sitting on me, not the whole couch. Just saying. Love it though, right? Shout out to dads in the building. I love y'all for what y'all do. Being a dad is not always the easiest thing in the world, right? But we change lives. So thank you, Rich, for hanging out with us, for taking the time. Shout out to babies too. All right. Appreciate you. All right. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, our resident superhero is in the building. This next poet makes space for so many poets on so many platforms, right? Digs into the email, digs into the publishing, digs into the inspiring other poets. Again, I like to call this poet the daughter of Krypton, the one and only Finn Bell in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you and connect with all the incredible things you do. It is great to see you as always. Please take it away.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much, Elemen2al, and to RMT. You can find me on Instagram. I am Finn_Bell. Tonight I have the honor of reading a poem that was lent to me by the wonderful Art Waltz. It's called The Song of the Lark. Indian summer, fall graffiti, a teaser, a late teaser. Cool raincoats, flowers gently, frost covers the inevitable. Colors fade into obscurity. Cornfields getting ready to shed their husk. Noisy machines complete the task. Winter preparing the valley, naked, foggy, cold reality. Past ties weighing in, searching eyes, little of saying, little to say. Whistling wind blows that icy, white crystal snow. Candlelight, so warm. Spring so long ago, so long away, too playful a sway, remembering comforting fragments of a childhood past. Last summer's peak, hiding in waves of sun-drenched yellow. Last year's freshly bundled on canvas painted peak. Reminiscing the lark, jubilating my heart, way aloft the smell of the daily cut, green grass. Tell me of a world I didn't see. So life, I admire that native tongue I searched, learned to understand finally, as a student. And I found for you my voice, as if I learned to speak the silent dreams to one the future takes. It's passing late, it's brushing dark, no rush, no rush. I made my choice and embraced. At last I see now myself on a way called Fear You Not. War, hope, war, hope, money, God, money, God. Now that I am weary, now I see who is rich, now I see who is poor. Yes, I once said, too, to feel them all. How could I forget that fascination for that sweet stench of that human garbage dump? Is it not that annoying at all? Is it heaven? Is it hell? He will find out I am here, native tongue, without, without. Time is running late, passionate thoughts, having a date, right, right, behind that human looking glass. He fought out and make out the deeply eternity we didn't back together. Higher cemetery, black hole at the beginning, mystery, also vividly and light, passionately, all
You are listening to native tongue, or if foreign tongue is listening to native you. After all, today may be Lark's last earthen call. Thank you.
So I'm going to poll my community really quick, because what I just heard at the end was what we should have heard from the beginning. So all those in favor of asking Finn Bell to read that again so we can actually hear it the way we heard it at the end, please raise your hand. Finn Bell, your community has spoken. Please, if you wouldn't mind, can you take that from the top? Please.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that. So this is a poem by Ike Waltz. He was so kind to share it with me. It's called The Song of the Lark. Indian summer, fall graffiti, a teaser, a late pleaser. Cool rain coats flowers gently, frost covers the inevitable. Colors fade into obscurity, cornfields getting ready to shed their husk. Noisy machines complete the task. Winter preparing the valley, naked, foggy, cool reality, past ties weighing in, searching eyes, little of saying, little to say. Whistling wind blows that icy white crystal snow, candlelight, so warming to my soul. Spring so long ago, so long away, too playful a sway. Remembering comforting fragments of a childhood past, last summer's heat, hiding in waves of sun-drenched yellow. Last year's freshly bundled, on canvas painted wheat. Reminiscing the lark, jubilating my heart, way aloft the smell of the daily cut green grass. Tell me of a world I didn't see. It's all right. I admire that native tongue. I searched, learned to understand. Finally, I succeeded, and I found for you my voice, as if I learned to speak and silent dreams took on a future shape. It's passing late, it's brushing dark. No rush, no rush. I made my choice and embrace. At last, I see now myself on a way called Scare Me Not. War, hope, war, hope. Money, God, money. God? Now that I am weary, now I see who is rich. Now I see what is poor. Yes, Once I begged too. I fear them all. How could I forget that fascination for that sweet stench of the human garbage dump? Is it not that annoying at all? Is it heaven? Is it hell? We will find out I am here. Native tongue will tell, will shout. Time is running late. Passionate thoughts have no dates. Bright lights behind that dimming looking glass. Too far to make out an inkling of eternity, visiting that forever tired cemetery. A black hole at the beginning of infinity. It's all so vividly, unlike, passionately, all of me. Yes, my friends, it depends. It depends. If you are listening to native tongue, or if foreign tongue is listening to native you. After all, today may be Lark's last earthen call. Thank you.
Now that is how we should have heard it the first time. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Finn Bear.
Oh, Finn and Ike.
Lovely.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Lovely to watch Ike's face taking it all in also. Finn Bell
It
read.
was nice to
Thank
hear it.
you.
I really hear it again.
Yes. Oh man.
Absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
That was so Mary Oliver. That was really, really good. Thanks.
I really feel that.
You know, this is what I love about our community, right? We're going to make time, we're going to make space for the energy that needs to come out. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't expecting that. I know we're going to hear Ike coming up next. But to hear Ike's work coming from you, it's just interesting. It really is. It's just, it's going to take me a while to process that one. But amazing, right? Because the way that you deliver your work and the way that Ike infuses his energy into his work, it makes an interesting pair. I need another one. I need another one. That's your task. I need another one. Just to make sure what I felt wasn't just like the tinglies. I need another one. Please. However y'all gonna work that out, please work it out. Appreciate you, daughter of Krypton. Make sure you're plugging in with Finn Bell. She is amazing. And she'll plug you into something. Trust me, please. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next is the cat that she was just covering. Author of a few books. Is For Finn, With Finn, The Wild Rose of Yesterday. There's Capaldi. This dude, I'm telling you, this dude's incredible, right? I like to call him the Vincent Price of poetry, and you're gonna find out why. The one and only Ike Waltz in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Ike. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
And now, the worst of me. Today's debate. Not again. Hell, not again. I wrote this during 2016, but I'm still scared. When girls attempted cooking like withered women, when children enjoyed bullying children, and men are cheating like men with guns on their belts, when the rich dodged the draft and the maimed ended on Skid Row, when I screwed you before you screwed me, when whites were for whites only, when cheap colored humans paid the price, when children were separated for national security reasons, when guns and money was all but justice on the beat, and the dead could not stand their ground anymore. When capitalistic globalism made slaves of us all, when the gullible believe in the Mexican wall, when the base devours raw meat and the mob demands lock her up, when Kellyanne Conway, remember her, kissed her husband from hell, when the Trumpian Twitters ignite these populist bullshitters, when MAGA mass hysteria turns in a supremacist bacterium, when corruption so deeply rooted flourishes in the abyss of the legal decline, when bullying the dead is just fine and cruelty has become the new norm of entertainment, when the use of opioids, herbicides, insecticides, pesticides, antibiotics, and hormones are out of control, when water and air is auctioned to the highest bidder, when wealth fixes scholastic grades and education is for sale, when the peddling of pharmaceuticals entices illnesses we should never have, poverty and homelessness, as being black, alive in permanent fear, and what to do remains unclear. When Take Back Our Country becomes a desperate cry for change, so back to what is never explained, when the mirror on the wall has long forgotten who we are, and we the people can't see ourselves, not anymore. And the 45th White House contaminated a confused nation, and the lucrative lobbyists congratulating the bought off so honorable legislature, cowardly shaking in their fashionable boots. When the SCOTUS sleeps in comforting deception, pretending they have an answer, as if they had no clue. Inspired by that legalized corruption they had approved, looking so superior, black robes so infectiously blameless, like the Inquisition. Their strike is political decision. Yes, they always do. And yes, it was the SCOTUS who opened the door for insurrection. Just listen to them. Listen what they do not say to you, but to us. And we do. When death and destruction is the price for truth, the America of today is the America long in the making. Ignorance did not educate, telling us that the day is who we became, debating a debate of the bizarre as mudslinging is the media's freak show. Millions of dollars they make. Wunderbar. Dear Lord, let us not make that America ever great again. It is not who we were. It is not what we became. It is not even what we see, except the outdated Constitution. It is not to whom we speak. It's all about understanding our history. It's all about what we have learned from our history. This is, let's see, a way who we could be. This is who we could become. This is what one day we will be, the land of the educated, brave, and free. America, after all, is my home. My home I like to call our America. Flourishing in the 21st century realism makes this America reality for you and me. You see, yes, I too have a dream. Thank you.
And people need to hear that dream, sir. And I'm thankful that you brought it here to let the world hear it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ike Wolf.
Amazing, Ike. Beautiful.
Speaking the truth. Speaking the truth.
You know, I appreciate for what you do and how you do it, sir. Your level of dedication is it's to be admired, really. Since I've known Ike Waltz, I have 4 of his publications. 4. And I'm sure there's another one on the way if it's not at the publisher already. I'm telling you, Ike is that dedicated, really. I'm looking forward to that one too. Listen, Ike, it reminded me of like how you started that one. It reminded me of the old school Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons, right? Where where Rocky would say, and now here's a whatever, he would announce it, and now this or whatever. And when you said that, it's just like, I got it. I see where we're going. He said, and now the worst of me, right? And I think when you say worst, right, you get people's brains ready for something, and you really do like you deliver the worst, the best. You said you wrote in 2016, but you're still scared. I get it. He said, I screwed you before you could screw me. It's the universal law of getting screwed over, right? Kids were separated for national security reasons. I think you said populist bullshit 'em. That's some pretty creative Latin. Cruelty has become the new norm for entertainment. Being black and alive and in permanent fear. If you choose to live in fear, that's exactly what it'll be. Inspired by their legalized corruption. When death and destruction is the price of truth. Let us make that America never great again. I love how you said that, right? And of course, the 21st century realism. There's something about that. I wish more folks would subscribe to that than Netflix. Appreciate you, sir. Make sure you're plugging in what I promise you, he's got something else cooking. Make sure you plug in. Appreciate you. Coming up next, we are preparing ourselves, okay, folks, because we're about to get an experience. Shout out to gods and the earth. Listen, it is always my pleasure to introduce these next 2 artists. Coming up first, again, I never know what's going to happen. I never know how many instruments are going to come through or how many poems are going to come through, but I'm here for it. The one and only Baba Ngoma is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you, hear you, and learn from you, sir. Please take it away.
Yes. It's always great to be here, especially when you get to be about my age. It's like, I woke up this morning. I'm like, no, I say that and I laugh and whatnot, right? But over the last few months, I've lost a lot of friends. And some of them have been a little bit younger than me. So, okay. This poem, I'm going to do some poems from my book. I didn't come here to tap dance. The book itself, some of it is autobiographical. The first poem that I'm going to do is not autobiographical. It's just about some shit that was going on during my lifetime. And I'm going to continue on with the music. I'm not going to take a break. I'm going to let the music continue, and then I'm coming in with the second poem. And the second poem is autobiographical. The first poem is called The Recruiter. And the second poem is called After My Year-Long Backpacking Trip Through Sunny Southeast Asia. For those who don't know, I'm a Vietnam vet. I'm a grunt. And I used to call it my year-long trip through sunny Southeast Asia. I got some other poems that actually talk about the trip, but this poem here talks about afterwards. But the first poem is called The Recruiter. The Recruiter. I used to have a handle on life, but then it broke. Now that the heat is on, I gotta get more sunblock. I started to rob a bank until I realized that Wall Street already did that. It's a real problem since I'm addicted to eating and the fast food joints are floating belly up like dead water bugs after the real kill. I started to join the army but got turned down when they realized that I could read the small print. It seems they couldn't handle a black man with a worldview. Since critical thought is not allowed, they only wanted yes men. I didn't come with instructions. There's no program to be downloaded. It's hard to make a soldier out of someone whose religion is peace. The recruiter said that I should get a haircut. I said there was a problem. I had cool hair, but there were no cool barbers. He asked if I were gay. I told him no, but I'd fallen on hard times and for cash he could suck my Johnson. He said he would, but was afraid that he'd be dishonorably discharged. He was only there for benefits. He'd done 2 tours in Iraq. His brain was suffering depleted uranium rot. He realized he couldn't spend the medals that he got, and the pawn shop wasn't offering much for a Purple Heart. So he re-upped to sell dreams that turned to nightmares to the dispossessed, though he knew that it was bad karma and his soul could never rest. Said his emotions stepped on a landmine, but the medics sewed him up and said that he'd be fine. They didn't tell him that to the truth he'd be forever blind, or that his acquired condition would destroy his mind. So now he struggles with demon contradictions, a walking time bomb with twisted convictions. After my year-long backpacking trip through sunny Southeast Asia, walking on concrete seemed really strange. Trying to sleep in the bed was weird too. It seemed like it was too soft. It was still hot in Virginia in September, so at least I wasn't shocked by the weather, but buses backfiring had me wanting to duck for cover. Labor Day fireworks didn't help much either. I wasn't working yet, so with time on my hands, wooded parks were quite comforting. My boys had supplied me with a steady diet of revolutionary literature, and the camaraderie of brothers in Nam had me thinking a revolution was about to jump off. After all, the last poets and Black Panthers were all in the news. J. Edgar Hoover had declared them dangerous. Red, black, and green buttons and necklaces with black fists were popular too. I came back mad as hell with an itchy trigger finger, ready for the shit to jump off. Cambodian red and tabs of good acid comforted me, but otherwise didn't help the problem either. Nobody told me I was suffering from PTSD. There was no debriefing. Had me thinking there was some real black unity back in the world. My marriage was going to shit. Paranoia had me thinking everyone was an agent. After attending a Panther rally, I learned the feds were questioning my friends. The idiots paid me a visit, asked my opinion on revolution, like I'd really tell them. I told them all black people should move back to Africa. Having survived Pleiku and the Tet Offensive, I set out to make up for all the nookie I had missed. Good poontang is life affirming, and I needed to check daily to see if I was still alive. Trust was a bit hard to come by, so I set out to find people of like minds. Most of the homies were strung out partying. Skag was taking over the neighborhood. Even the offspring of the black bourgeoisie nodded. The talented 10th mainlined. Not liking needles, I dodged the doogie bullet. Everybody else was strung out on Jesus. I was searching for Ogun, but this was the late 60s in the Black Belt South, and he was hiding out not to be found. I thought about checking out the NOI, but I was too cool for that. I rocked bell-bottom hip huggers on a big afro. Bow ties and bean pies just didn't satisfy my sense of style. Packed up my VW Bug, snuck off to Newark in the middle of the night, looking for the revolution. You know, when I say I was looking for the revolution, when I moved to Newark, I joined an organization called the Committee for a Unified Newark and the Congress of African People. It was a Pan-Africanist nationalist cadre group that was headed by Amiri Baraka. A lot of people don't realize it, don't know about it. We had our own schools, we had our own shops, we had our own businesses, okay? So we helped to get Gibson elected, and we used the same plan to get Ross Baraka elected. He was the same plan that we ran him with. That's what was going on. So I just want to let y'all know, you know, what's what, and you know, how we was rolling. Yeah, thanks.
Yo, told y'all, it's a whole experience when Baba come through, man. Yo, unmute yourself. Give it up for Baba in gold.
You are amazing. You're amazing.
Speak the truth, Baba.
Man,
thank you.
What a story. Your life.
Man, you take me to another place. I mean, I go somewhere else. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, thanks
Beautiful.
for that social history of Newark, you know, and how that work was done and how poets were in front of that.
Exactly.
Poetry and politics, right? I mean, but we are, you know, the proverbial finger on the pulse, right? When it comes to knowing what's going on, poets are that. Baba, you know what you do, man, and the stories that you tell and the experiences that you've had. I mentioned this to another incredible artist in our community, hoping that he'll come through this evening. And I feel the same about you. You're a national treasure, sir. You really are. You've seen things, you've done things, you've been places, you've experienced the America that they're trying to resurrect. And your perspective on that America is key to ensuring the next generation does not allow that to happen. And I appreciate you for continuing to do it. Again, author of I Didn't Come Here to Tap Dance. And I'm telling you, even if this cat had on tap shoes, he probably still wouldn't come here to tap dance on y'all asses. I'm just saying. Just saying. He said the army didn't want him because he could read the fine print. It's hard to make a soldier out of someone whose religion was peace. He couldn't spend the medals he got. Oh, that hurt me so bad. That hurt me so bad. I saw your community members jump on that one as well. Where was that? I saw it. The pawn shop wasn't offering much for a Purple Heart. Shout out to Daughter of Krypton for being on point for that one. Like, gosh, something about that one, right? His emotions stepped on a landmine, right? A walking time bomb of twisted convictions. After that year-long backpack trip to Southeast Asia, no one came back the same, sir. My father was one of those cats. Did not come back the same, right? Walking on concrete seemed really strange. And I thank you for saying that, because I used to watch my father kind of walk around and he looked awkward walking, but now it makes sense. I appreciate that. You know, the brothers give you the steady diet of revolutionary literature, J. Edgar, whoever. I love that. Itchy trigger finger ready for shit to jump off. Paranoia had me thinking everyone was an agent. Facts. My last one. And this is a rough one because I was trying to picture this, sir. He said, I wore bell-bottom hip huggers under a big afro. Like, yo. And I'm sure he got some fly-ass pictures to prove it, too. Probably had on the platform shoes and the whole nines. Appreciate you, Baba. Truly, truly appreciate you for doing what you do and sharing it with us. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up next, as I mentioned, shout out the gods in the earth. Listen, this next poet, this next priestess continues to come through and share her divine energy with us and actually educates us as well. I don't know how. I don't know how one dwelling can handle all of this energy, but somehow it does. The one and only Oshun Yen in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Well, I can be found the usual places, Facebook and Instagram. And just to let you know, Ngoma and I have a ball up in here, and we talk about the stuff that we write about. So, you know, just come in and sit. We talk about what we write about. So this piece I'm going to do, I'm just going to be a short, real quick Yoruba Dictionary of Divinities. I'm going to mention Alegba. He's the Orisha of the Crossroads. He's the one that jazz and blues musicians still go down to the crossroads and visit to this day. I'm going to mention Obatala. He's a Yoruba deity of creativity and purity. Mention Ogun. Ogun is very, very, very misunderstood. Ogun is first and foremost the Orisha of justice and truth. Then, secondly, he's a blacksmith, so he's an iron deity. And then all the way down the line is he the god of war. Everyone says, oh yeah, Ogun's the god of war. That's really not, that's out of balance with that. And the last I'm going to mention is Oshun, or the Orisha that I'm a priestess of. She's the goddess of love. But when I say that, I'm not talking about the Western concept of love. I'm talking about love in all of its really solid expressions and how it should be interacting in life. Oshun has taught me a lot about love. So anyway, here's a poem, Ritual and Waiting. So I've been rubbing antiques down on Broadway where the Village meets the Lower East Side. No luck yet. Junkies and winos watch to see if my ritual produces any better vision than their chemically induced hallucinations. I want to tell them that the spirits of gin, wine, and white powders invoke false gods that use them as temporary altars so the poison cuts short their time and the demons move on to the next host. But Alegba tells me I don't speak their language. He says I must wait and contemplate in silence until their own souls arrive at the crossroads that chooses wisdom over wine, divinity over delusion, life over death. I go up to Harlem offering cracked and chip plates of food to the collective ancestors of our freedom, begging them to speak to our walking wounded, the men, women, and children who suffer from over 40 generations of post-traumatic slave syndrome disorder, each generation a different mutation, resulting in the same terminal disease. I ask Obatala for the medicine to cure it. He reminds me that patience is the mother and father of good character. And only when that character becomes more important than degenerate distraction, maniacal materialism, and worshiping money as a god will we be able to walk in the echoes of our ancestors' wisdom. I go up to the Bronx where they're singing freedom songs, and I see Ogun standing underneath the elevated train track at Southern Boulevard. I run, greet him in tradition, Dobale, Mofoi Bale. I ask him to lead our people in the battle for justice. Ogun quotes his own scripture, Ogun Demeji, to me and says, don't hurry back from anything that requires patience. He continues and says that the truth, no matter how small and weak it looks in the beginning, always prevails in the end. Always. He continues in the style of his Ijala poetry and says that truth and justice are like Siamese twins that can never be separated. He counsels, if you want justice, you have to seek the truth, speak the truth, and walk in truth. Only then will your battles and victory be won. I poured libation in Brooklyn, in Weeksville, where care of each other, support of each other, and love of each other were the community cornerstones. I asked Oshun to return those gifts to us. She too tells me to wait. She says that love and fear can't sleep in the same house, much less the same bed. But the time of courage is coming. Her waterfall of wisdom whispers into my ear. Oshun says, love, love again, then love more. Love is our legacy. Feed everyone's soul with love so it can grow in its power. So I sit in contemplative silence, cultivate good character, walk in truth, work love to continue to build our legacy, and wait, because divine guidance cannot be ignored. Ashe. One real quick thing too, Weeksville. I mentioned Weeksville. Weeksville is a community in Brooklyn bordered by Crown Heights and Bed-Stuy. And Weeksville was a Black community that started about 11 years after slavery in New York ended in 1838. And James Weeks was a stevedore. He unloaded ships, and several other people did too. And so he got some money together and bought up 2 or 3 plots of land and encouraged people to come and buy up the land too. So Weeksville was in Brooklyn, was a very tight, close Black community. And if you go on Hunterfly Avenue, you can still see some of the original houses.
Hey, listen, this is not just an art platform, folks. This is about life lessons, and you're going to get a few history ones. I'm telling you. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Oshun, yo, yeah.
Wow, that was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Breathtaking. Breathtaking. Wow.
Ashe, sister, thank you so much for sharing culture.
Yeah, I have to thank you again for making all of that so accessible the way you do. You just have a real ability with doing that, and I haven't heard anybody else do something quite like that.
It creates understanding, and understanding is very, very important. It's very important. We got too much misunderstanding.
Yeah, and too much, just not knowing each other enough. That's, a huge problem.
Absolutely. But it's only just about if we want to know each other, right? If we want to take the time to get to know each other, I mean, we do cohabitate this thing called planet Earth. And the last time I checked, there isn't another one that can sustain life that we've found yet. So we either get it together or we destroy each other. Like, listen, Priestess, I truly dig what you do, and I love the fact that you keep those things into your artwork that remind us where we've been, right? Junkies and winos. I love that term. I really do, right? And you know, gin, wine, and white powder, divinity or delusion, post-traumatic slave syndrome disorder. I absolutely love that. Patience is the mother and father of good character. Right? She said she was up. She went up to the Bronx where they were singing freedom songs. Shout out to BX. BX in the building. Don't hurry back from anything that requires patience. Truth and justice are like Siamese twins that could never be separated. Love and fear can't live in the same house, let alone sleep in the same bed. Love is our legacy. Love is our legacy. Thank you for the brief history lesson on Weeksville in Brooklyn, 1838, James Weeks. Do your research, folks. Appreciate you. Appreciate you both for coming through and doing what you do. Really. That's why, you know, when they reach out to me or I reach out to them, I always say it doesn't matter what you share. We need to hear from you. So thank you both for doing what you do and doing it at a high level. Truly appreciate you. One more artist, and we are going to pass it over to RMT. Coming up next, this ringmaster continues to just, I'm telling you, he has a plethora of moves. His dedication level is to the Raptors. And I'm telling you, like, I've really thought about adapting some like theme just for this cat, brother, because when he comes through, damn it, he just like breaks the glass and just like, this is my dude, man. Shout out. The one and only Dre Reyes in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Dre. It's always great to see you, man. Come on, take it away.
Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? As far as being able to find me, you could just look at my screen name at the bottom of my little window. You'll find me on my personal Instagram or through the Slam Jam Instagram. Anyway, speaking of networking and whatnot, so tomorrow we have a very special evening for the Magus on Open Minds Open Mic, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I could direct your attention to the meeting chat real quick, save and share this flyer to people. I'm looking for more musicians if possible. I'm looking at maybe how about Nagoma if he's interested. That'd be cool if he could swing by tomorrow at 7 p.m. Just figure we start off with some concert with musical talent and then lead into our open mic. Basically, we just want to create a big, massive, high energy, healing energy frequency for the Magus as we try to collaborate together to produce a wonderful evening of song and poetry for our man. So share, and hopefully we'll see you there tomorrow. Now, on with the poetry. I haven't really been writing a whole lot lately, so I'm going to do a slight oldie from last year. But here's a piece called Pigeon Man Writes to Arnold. For years, I have dried the tears of many birds, not just pigeons. I have a spiritual bond with nature's aviators. They understand me and I understand them. It's people I can't understand. Humanity is a bit too much more often can chew from Mother Nature's eternally sacrificing and giving hands. It hurts me to see the way people hurt each other, the way people hurt people, the way we all hurt. It's a shame how the rest of the planet suffers because of so much hurt. Humanity needs to learn and apply the lesson of turning negatives into positives, as opposed to combating negatives with negatives, but I digress. As I flew towards the sun, I felt I was chasing the horizon forever. Arnold, life is so much different when your head is in the clouds. Everything feels so much smaller. You, me, the troubles we face, the world and everything in it. Despite of all the things I have seen, the places I've been to, the birds I've befriended, I haven't been able to meet another Arnold. Your kindness is a mighty flame that brings warmth and light to anyone who comes close enough. Empathy is an ability that is becoming lost in time, and my time is coming to an end. Arnold, don't be sad. I am but a man whose head is in the clouds, but you have time on your sides to be the link that binds human and birds together. Never give up. Trust your instincts and reach for the sky. I miss you. Warm regards, Vincent. P.S. Always wash your berries before eating them and fly towards the sun. Poem. Thank you. Thank you for sharing space.
Listen, we're going to do that every single time. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Dre. Ray.
Yeah.
Hey, woo!
Hi, Dre.
God,
Yes, sir.
I love that.
There's something to be said about someone who reads a poem and their tone is down here, but it still smacks you in the face, right? There's something about that. Now, I appreciate that, right? Knowing that your writing is all the way on point to where that it can reach your audience, right? They said life is so much different when your head is in the clouds. Absolutely true, sir. Absolutely true. As he said, we'll be getting down for Gusto tomorrow. Shout out Open Minds. Dre has been putting in work. Shout out to Slam Jam. It's gonna be an interesting night tomorrow night, y'all. Make sure you fall through. If you're a fan of poetry, if you're a fan of artistry, fall through. It's gonna be amazing. Dre, your letter series, I think you need to come up with some new ones. They work, sir. Right? The Arnold letters, right? What else? What else? What will be the next one that you come up with? That's what I want to hear. Let's do it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Dre. For real. All right. Before we move on, I'm going to pass it to the dopest tech in the Zoomverse, the one and only Ron Mark Thompson, a.k.a. RMT. If you're not down with RMT by now, damn it, you should be. Ron, what's going on, man? How are you feeling this evening, sir?
I'm feeling okay. Thank you so much. Another powerful theme, another powerful night. Really appreciate you, Elemental. Thank you, everyone who's with us here in Zoom at the same time that the presidential debate is happening on television. Or if you're watching it and, listening here at the same time, thank you for multitasking. We really appreciate it. Also, thank you everyone who's watching us via the current live stream on our Facebook page, Twitter, or YouTube channel. And if you're watching the recording afterwards, thank you for watching the recording afterwards. Hello, I'm Ron, Mark Thompson, the tech assistant here in the background for the online open mic, and also one of the program and operations assistants at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Before I tell you about what's going on at the cafe, I want to reiterate what Dre had mentioned, and Elemen2al, and some of the others here earlier. So Gustav Salas, the makers Gustav Salas, he's a valued community member. He has been to many of our online open mics at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. He is in Florida. He lives there, but he's also has visited New York City. He's been to the Poetry Festival and to our cafe many times. He's been with other organizations, namely the Open Minds community, where he also is hosting an open mic there on a weekly basis. But yes, currently he is sadly in the hospital. He had strokes. He is battling cancer. So his sister has organized a GoFundMe page, which is already doing very well. Thank you, everyone in the community, for for coming out and donating to that. And as Elemen2al, Dre, and some others have mentioned, tomorrow is the poetry and music concert for healing to benefit Gustav, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I have put the Zoom meeting ID in the Zoom chat. It's the same that you see on the flyer here. Thank you, Dre Race, for the sending me the flyer. So if you can make it tomorrow, 7 p.m., come on out, donate, or just listen and support. Gustav will be very happy once he recovers and will be able to see the recording of that. So here's again the QR code for the GoFundMe page and all the other information. Please come on out for Gustav. I myself will be there in the beginning, but then I have to head to work because later tomorrow, actually, there is an event at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe that I'm working at. And here we go. This is our week, the last week of June 2024. For some reason, the last 1 and 2 weeks of every month have been very busy, including this week. Every day except Tuesday, we hosted an event, including today, our online open mic. So if you can make it tomorrow, as Elemen2al mentioned at the beginning, our final Friday slam. It is the last Friday of the month, and it is 9:30. We open the doors. 10 p.m. the show starts. So if you are in the benefit concert in Zoom for Gustav, and if you're in New York City, you can still come on out to the Puerto Rican Traveling Theater. Tony McPherson is hosting. DJ Luna Rosa is providing the sounds, and she also works at our Monday Nuyorican Bowery Slam. Not this coming Monday, J Rose is hosting, and then Luna is going to be back the following Monday to host that edition. And tomorrow, Cloud is featuring. He has been to many of our Monday slams. I also saw him in Newark at some of the open mics there. If you've never heard his poetry, come on out. He is amazing and powerful. Then Saturday, our teenage open mic at the P&T Knitwear bookstore on Orchard Street, south of Houston Street on the Lower East Side. It is a collaboration with Rytopia Labs. This is for teenagers, but yours truly, who is no longer a teenager, I will be the featured reader that day. So if you have nephew or nieces or kids that are teenagers, bring them with you. Otherwise, come on, and support us. It is a free event, except if you're an adult, Rytopia, and we request a little donation to help us keep this program free for all the teenagers. And Sunday, first in the early afternoon, my program teammates and our executive director will be marching in the New York City Pride March. Yes, it is the last day of Pride Month. We are in the contingent of the American LGBTQ Museum. They have put together a contingent of many museums and cultural organizations, and we were invited, and we are very happy to be marching with them in the Pride March. And then in the evening, we will be going to Staten Island. This will be the Nuyorican Poets Cafe's first time in Staten Island, 7 p.m. We are collaborating with That's Right Open Mic, and we will be presenting an open mic there. So come on out for that if you can make it in Staten Island. Next month also we will be at the Poetry Festival, July 13th and 14th. We will have a table there on both days, and on Sunday, July 14th at 5 p.m. we will be at the Brinkley stage presenting a poetry performance for 30 minutes. So come on out for that if you can make that. And it's going to be another busy month because also save the date, Thursday, July 18th, our first time in the Bronx, our first collaboration with the Bronx Documentary Center. We will be presenting an in-person open mic on July 18th at 6 p.m. My program teammates and I will be putting in the ticket information in our ticket site tonight. So starting tomorrow, you can get your tickets. This open mic, by the way, is part of the Latin American Photo Festival. It is the 7th annual edition of that festival in the Bronx Documentary Center. It starts the week before on July 11th. That's when the opening reception will be. And then the week thereafter on July 18th, we will hold our open mic. So come on out for that. For Bronx residents, it's only $5. If you're coming from outside of the Bronx, it'll be $10. So we welcome you to that open mic. And then on Saturday, July 20th, it is our turn to go to Newark, New Jersey, our first collaboration with Dutch poetry. We will be there on July 20th at 7 p.m. in the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark. And for that, you can already get tickets. The tickets are done by the Performing Arts Center. So if you scan the code, you can get that from there. Or if you're in Zoom and not on the live stream, just go to our link tree, Nuyorican Poets Cafe, and all the links to our ticket site, to our social media sites, everything is there. So we really welcome you to any and all of our events that are going on. But now we're going to go back. First, I'm going to show myself on camera so you can see I'm a real human and not a robot. Here I am zooming in from the Bronx. But we are going next to Paul Skiff, who actually is not that far from the Nuyorican Poets Cafe. And Paul and everyone else, if you look on our Facebook and Instagram page from earlier today, our executive director Labrua was in the cafe in our building yesterday, and the city is busy doing their construction, which we're very happy about. You know, they torn down some of the walls and the staircases inside already, and it's progressing, which I'm very happy about, because we do want to open within the next 2 or 3 years again. So, you know, Paul, I know you will be very happy once the building is modern and everything will be back to normal. But we are here online and at other venues, and that's what counts. Paul, welcome back to our online open mic. You know how it goes. The floor is all yours.
Okay, thanks, Ron, and for all those updates. This is a little more of a spoken word piece, and hopefully my voice will hold out for this because I'm still getting over a cold. Squinched image, body absorbed by one dimension, thinking itself inexhaustible, tongue become needle that may extract relentless viewership, threaded with electricity to discover passive music in the eye of the wholly known mathematized world, crossbred into tininess as symphonic flies perform cyclical harassments. How is materiality interrogated so brutally? Humanity becomes decorative, vision unattached to conscience as empathy dissolves in the impractical. In many-sided world, mind encircled by reproductions of existence where ordinary life is made faster, more efficient, if second guesses are not left in the correct recycle can, original choice gets weightless as a picture that stays up in the air, unclean tongue of the nation that hates through its language, whose arsenal dances like a horny teenager. Under anticlimax, totality slips down shirt collar, telling a story to make space for life clearly defined, like 1,000 rockets that blast off inside the refused call of terrifying authenticity. Phone let dangle mid-call, twisting on its cord, tingles the rejected belief with the world a horror that sent you back inside yourself to replace what has been robbed from you with outrage that does not possess as much shape as a question. Why does the dark, foul puddle look soothing? Where should the feeble hatchling be left that crawls on its belly at the corner? Why will the doctors recommend cutting out the overdue baby? Which lie to believe? Truth cannot be murdered, or murder is a thieving fact. For many days, the question mark is crafted from templates of dimly transparent self-interest, thin introspective screams, finished with monumental sharpness of instant pleasure, finally removed from death as though interrogation were laughter or other false promises of the way home. But the mother of pleasure dies at birth, and nothing reflects what children are worrying about. A replacement for their world would be the dark space in a box that produces undefinable expectations. In lightless corners, the end of human similarity is the total of wishes unavailable for any speculative change because still only equipped with a face. The clock has never forestalled the temporary, like man, the world simplifier. Witness, bleach, plunged up through a syringe into air over Forgotten Street, wild as a guess. Person empty, humans thought into the precision, the tiny caustic perfume flashes, some love felt the leap of a fish shot late afternoon light become plugged with voice of an animal blinked through flushed blast of caustic liquid, its half-second life a pretty wound of purity, tight as the skin over a knee. With mean, excessive delicacy, the jolt cuts thought off, stops time like a bell, stitches some tormented depth of a body to the need to speak, the singular music of a door now thrown shut very hard, a hand clap. An urgent recitation of the law, a kind of singing not let from the tongue, the forgotten myth where a liverless bastard steals fire from misunderstanding fathers, a philosophical question of unobserved existence, conceit warped into belief so that to know is flat, breathless pain on insides of false confidence where we wait for the minuscule spume of bleach to pop for the first time, a question so bright we squint. Question that leaves us all alone talking with fire through the wall that eats to get to us, our mouths wounds of powerlessness shown into cupped hands of repetition where they pour out an adage, mouth now unsure of its purpose, barf, or sing. Only the 12-year-old boys with marijuana-flavored skin lined up against the wall with cops' hands in their pockets know this. Rain upon ocean, wind through sky, fire within the sun, confusion consoling stupidity. A bomb has ripped off its clothes to perform, collects identical reactions. Even with lactating breasts, fathers over-exaggerated emptiness of self-interest, a person in themselves detonated accidentally, loud, old-fashioned form for creation of ignorable lies. We are all born with mud in our mouths and confront impatience, We leave the taste of the first blood and food behind. In common, we have forgotten. And if the world was not set up to pull aggression on you, why the fuck did you bawl upon arriving here? Lord God, please clear this lot. Lord God, please clear this lot. Lord God, please clear this lot. Chant exorcists behind the empty lot on Forgotten Street, but in the disposable bag of accidental gestation, pre-human residents throw more broken pallets into their 50-gallon fire, settle upon their tattered sofas beneath cavernous night, and do not come out. There are rips in the cyclone fence behind which wealth is measured in all that can be piled up and burned. Incense of an unknown blend intoxicates purpose from the fire engine that bounces sparks from its chassis over the lumpy intersection, while the invincible core of humanity revives behind the slit that menaces blind dance of routine. Glorious sanitiers. Child harvesters like fire engines also arrive with the indifference of parched arrogance. Great care, expertise, and precision are preparation of might for hire by those who would evict all reluctant name bearers. But the invisible choir of wardens who pierce and expel blind spots into the world to be snapshots of love subjugated and displayed are also gross and evil cripplers who just as easily destroy, who place the habits of correction on exterior of procedure. Silence before the gun that is starving is made from the stillness of expert malingerers who offer new initiative to colossal dimension of loss between the formerly human and what has been cast up to repeat anger against the living that will take me over and give me out. The light of the world is strangling. The hose of the fireman stiffens to blast. I cannot see well. You drop chemicals in my eyes. As they aim, the firemen bow their heads. Lights on the truck spin to stir stone buildings into liquid swirls of colors. To mark my arrival within the dominion of this government, you slathered my tiny foot with ink, then pressed me against your arrival document to consecrate my humanity by stealing a key of my identity. As long as I live, there will be too many witnesses to every arrival at helplessness. To arrive here on this earth is to be cleansed with life. To be alive is to tirelessly be made a picture. I did not know these were the strict rules of the welcome ceremony here on earth. But before the instinct of my tongue broke open my mouth for the very first time, I heard you coming for me.
You know, there's only one, and I'm thankful that he rocks with us, but there's only one. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Paul Skill.
Peace.
Woo!
Oh my God, solid.
Whoa. Wow. Wow.
Man.
Wow, it is. Wowzer.
Yeah, he kind of does this thing with the words, you know what I mean? I like to call him the Jedi Master because the Force is strong with that one. It's just strong with that one. You know, when you just go all the way in with what you do, sir, it really is amazing. Crossbred into tininess. The phone left dangling missed call. I know some of y'all may not know that imagery, but it's significant. Why will the doctor recommend to cut out the overdue baby? The mother of pleasure dies at birth. Like 12-year-old boys with marijuana flavored skin. A bomb ripped off his clothes to perform. We were all born with mud in our mouths. You drop chemicals in my eyes. Like, sir, the texture in your poems are so very real, and I appreciate you for that, for being very deliberate in putting that texture in. I appreciate you, sir, very much for what you do. All right. Also, you know how this goes, right? Make sure you are showing your love to Ron Mark Thompson. Straight up. We would not be doing this. We would not be here week after week if it wasn't for RMT. So I appreciate you, Ron, for all that you do. Shout out to BX in the building, right? So much love, for real. All right, let's keep it going. Coming up next, the plug is in the building. I'm telling you, I always look forward to this cat, and I love the fact that he's always in front of the. I'm telling you, that wall is significant, man. James Hamilton in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Hey, everything is inside the chat, but the easiest way is just James Hamilton, author on Facebook. That's going to be the best way to find me. So I got 2 pieces tonight. I've never done that before. They're about a minute and a half a piece. So I'm going to get right into the first one. I wrote for On Theme today. So control is born out of form. Structure becomes normal. Nominal peace in absentia becomes something to yearn for years or a lifetime. See, my mind is not the kind to simplify or try for sense amidst the senseless. I just check myself and get restless. I have a drink, bourbon, please, grind my teeth, hands to knee, tapping feet, vibrate, janky anxiety, jitterbug across somebody else's rug. I take the pills the doctor says will slow me down, quell the dreams, make me uncomfortable, help me think, keep me closer to controllable. Psychotropic, hopeful, mood stabilizing, woeful. I check myself with instigation, provocation, sans reclamation. Investigate, navigate, masturbate, alleviate my stress. Don't believe what I see, because like Tom Waits said, information is not the truth, see? I don't know what to believe. The voices in my head offer no reprieve, same as all those hours of therapy. Everything mostly means nothing. Breathe in, meditation. Breathe out, dissipation. CO2 condensation drips down the windows where I sleep. And then I got another, it's kind of outside my style, this stuff, but, open mic, we're going to give it a shot. This one's called Nebula Rain. 20,000 leagues above, supernovas instigate creation. Breakbeat of the universe, bebops, hums, and shebang bangs in tones of no one can hear you scream. Galactic vacuum black, antimatter, hydrogen cosmos, 9 deep, solar sphere, satellite orbit system, meteorite cold. Crossfade, comet tails, lightly veil, the syncopation of the moon, and constellation cockfights. -12 magnitude bright, jazz-fueled shooting star power feeds, cobalt lace, dusty space, nebula rain. All above the stratosphere, ozone layer, atmosphere, and cadence of insulation sky. There is no heaven there. Valhalla, Shangri-La, Utopia, Empyrean, Elysium, Divinium, peaceful paradise. Sweaty pancake bacteria, humanity, witnesses, float alone. Celestial body, rare earth is stuck in a skull-fucked state. Depression, machinated melancholy, universal reciprocity infected, viral, sadistic, masochistic human conditions plot hell-bent on destroying its cosmic soul. Self-absorbed humankind looks To the highest sky for salvation seed, but the expanse of space is all we see. Spiritually shaded optimist, a conscious universe experiences itself through the line lens of 300 plus million sets of egotistical eyes. Recognize what the universe knows. Truth is in the void, ostracized in the brain. Truth lies within the cloud of nebula rain. Thank you.
Talk that outer space shit, man. I'm about it. Unmute yourself. Give it up for James. Hey.
Terrific, James. Terrific.
Oh, yes, James.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Right on.
Yeah, man.
I felt like I was tripping.
Yeah.
I love it.
Didn't need LSD that time.
Listen, when you go outside of your comfort zone is when you start grabbing, common tales. Honestly, when you are fearless enough to go beyond, right, our atmosphere, our ozone, our stratosphere, ionosphere, you end up with those things, right? Control is born out of form. Don't believe what I see. Everything mostly means nothing. In the second piece, he says supernovas instigate creation. Love that. Crossfade comet tails, right? -10 magnitude light, right? All of this happening above the stratosphere. There's no heaven, no Valhalla, no Elysium, no, you know what I mean? It's space, the final frontier. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Truly, man. Like, what you do is necessary, sir. I need you to continue to do it and continue to share it with us. We truly appreciate you. All right. Coming up next, crazy late where this next cat is. But he is the most eloquent writer I know. He continues to do this and do it well. I'm telling you, and you're about to find out. The one and only Lantern carrier in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Lantern. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. A tornado of flashbacks raced across her mind as she began to relive the hard, undulating valley of trauma which had plagued her childhood life. It was a most difficult challenge to handle, with parents who themselves suffered from teenage abuse. As such, they took refuge in their mental, emotional, as well as behavioral and physical personas. This led to Sandy's toxic and stressful environment of challenges in her early life. Unseemly friends surrounded her dad, knowing only the false warmth of the bottle, chronic effects of malevolent conduct and substance abuse, the volatility of aggressive mood changes, post-Mary Jane and illegal Mountain Dew. All this gave him a psychotic persona, which he often carried home. Sandy was unable to prevent the numerous abuses, suffering from abuses that made her life a torrent of tears. Today, age 20, she sits nervously in front of a psychotherapist, retelling remorseful memories, reflecting on intrusive ordeals and patterns, cutting through her psyche like blades. The recurrence of flashbacks. The recurrence of flashbacks, anxiety and distress still haunts her, and there's a long way to go with therapy. Post-traumatic stress disorders, they call it, or PTSD, and it most certainly influences her day-to-day living. Sandy has relived this for years, getting nightmarish dreams and sweats, feelings of guilt and loss of self-esteem, of trembling and nausea. Ashamed and pitying herself, she constantly asks, why me? Why no one was able to stop her abuse? She shares little, guilt tearing up her insides, resentful, but still mindful enough to recognize that talking things through with a professional gives a much needed relief. Poetry distracts the pain, which she finds healing, and she hides a neurodivergency, an angry outburst with prescribed paroxetine. She has reduced a penchant for destructive behaviors like self-harm, alcohol, and substance abuse, striving diligently to prevent the cycle repeating itself. University has been very supportive in offering guidance and resources. Many veterans returning from war brought this condition to light, most suffering similar symptoms. The shock of seeing humans' inhumanity to humans, the effects of toxic flames, a stretching of the human limits of fear and courage have brought home the reality of PTSD. There's more help available from local authorities to include mindfulness, narrative and cognitive therapy sessions, plus jobs. The internet has created an awareness of the problem in such a way as to make employers more humane and less judgmental. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
You know, even when he's writing about something as delicate and dangerous as PTSD, he still comes off that way. He's miraculous in that way. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Lantern Carrier. Woo!
Thank you for blessing us, Lantern. Always a pleasure to listen to everything that you bring. Thank you.
You are therapeutic for us.
Ooh. Yes. Yes, sir, Joski. He is indeed therapeutic for us. No doubt about it, right? Because your dedication level, Lantern, right? It you and your work, like, you make each other better. Your poems, every single poem that you write makes you better, and you make each and every poem better because you give it the love and energy that it requires and deserves. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you. All right. Clearly, there are some folks who weren't able to make it this evening. They may come in, they may not. I don't know, but we're going to keep it going. Coming up next, all the way out on the West Coast, this cat. Listen, I truly love when he's got his instrument strapped on, which, you know, he usually does. He's always got a brilliantly beautiful gentleman's brim on, right? And he continues to share his magnificent work with us. Really, like his folk singer, right? A la, what is the man in black, right? What is his name? You know his name, the man in black. I can never remember his name.
Johnny Cash.
Sure. Johnny Cash. There you go. The previous generations had Johnny Cash. Thankfully, we have the one and only Bill Elkins in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, sir. Always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. Yes, I'm on Instagram, Midwestern Bill 51. Anyway, I'd like to do an original. It's a song that I wrote several years ago, but it's one that is one of my favorites. It's entitled Eva Pavinska, kind of a reflection on a previous relationship in my life. Anyway, I hope you like it. Here we go. Baltic Sea eyes, golden hair. She's my Venus from Krakow. Mystic dancer, my exotic tightrope walker. She strips me naked with her luminosity. Precious angel, my existential muse, she awakens me from my indifference. Yeah, she does. Oh, cosmic child, my bohemian lover, she vanquishes my demons with her body and her mind. Eva Pavinska, you rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. Eva Pavinska, I need you. La 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 la. Eva Pavinska, I love you. Blue, white, red, double life of Veronique. We talked about these films when we first met. Yeah, we did. I remember how we first looked at each other and somehow knew we'd be together. We walked along Berkeley Marina, looking out at San Francisco Bay. We stopped to hold each other as the fog rushed in overhead, and I whispered in Eva's ear that I loved her. Eva Pavinska, you rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. I guess we're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. Eva Pavinska, I need you. La 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 la. Eva Pavinska, I love you. Eva Pavinska, you rescued me. Your intrinsic beauty you let me see. We're as close as two can be. Our love will be forevermore. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Eva Pavinska, I love you. Thank you, everybody.
That's just damn amazing, Bill. That's what I'm talking about. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Bill.
I love that song, Bill.
Bill, woo!
Thank you.
There is something about love songs, right? And I'm not talking about just love songs when you're talking about loving love, but there's something about love songs when you're talking about a specific person, right? And those memories about looking over on the San Francisco Bay, right? About the fog rolling in, about how you leaned in to whisper, I love you. Those are the types of things. Those are the memories that I believe poetry was born for, is to write about those, right? He says she vanquishes my demons with her body and her mind. Somehow we knew we would be together. Like, I don't know how that works either, right? I've had stories like that too. It's just like, somehow we knew, just like, okay, I guess we're going to go with it. And then how you write about your experiences, sir, that's genius level stuff. I thank you for sharing it with us a regular basis. You're such a pillar of our community, sir. I appreciate you for continuing to do what you do. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Coming up next, this incredible poet, staying on the West Coast, all the way up in the Pacific Northwest. This incredible artist continues to come through and share his soul with us. For real. Whether he has his instrument on or not, he is going to give you something to soothe your soul. The one and only Joski C in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Joski. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Hey, Elemental, at Joski C. So I have some poems tonight, 4 short pieces, some new shit. This is Clocked. I walk fast, I walk slow, walk the long block from the hospital, measure distance with my feet. A clock shop on the corner buys some time, drawn in, compelled by bells and chimes, and everywhere hands wiping their faces over and over again. Back at the hospital, pacing the hallway, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, watching clocks with unstable hands, unable to fix this. This is called You Tell Me. Is it genocide or war crimes or crimes against humanity? You tell me, you tell me, while I report just what I see. Collective punishment, forced displacement, bombing the whole population, withholding water, life's second need, then starving every body, attacking all the hospitals, then stopping aid trucks in their tracks, and all the murdered innocents and all the murdered children. So I ask again, is it genocide or war crimes or crimes against humanity? Because all of these atrocities bleed. So you tell me, you tell me, you tell me. This is called Silent. When words go silent, when the world is violent, when we can't pay rent, when my energy's spent, when CO2's hiss leaks from my lips, when my mood flips, when I can't write shit, what then? And lastly, this is a haiku. Orange cicada. Orange cicada, crawl back to your golden hole, tired of your noise.
I hear you on that. They go very loudly, don't they? Unmute yourself. Give it up for Joski C.
Super, super.
I appreciate you so much, Joski. So much for all that new shit. Listen, cicadas are not just an issue here in the US. I was just reading an article a couple of days ago that said in Asia, they're starting to eat them. They're grilling them up and eating them. Just so you know, they're such an abundant source of protein, I guess. They are now grilling them and eating them. Sometimes life is stranger than fiction, folks. I can't make it up. Like, listen, Joski. First of all, appreciate you for coming with all four of those poems, right? The first one, you talking about, in clock, right? You said you walked a long block back from the hospital. A clock shop on the corner buys some time. I love that. Watching clocks with unstable hands. Yeah, man. And then you tell me, you asked about collective punishment, right? And I think that we are all victims of a level of collective punishment, right? For the folks who are here and not watching that debate, right? To me, that's collective punishment. Right? We all have to endure that madness. That's collective punishment, folks. Bombing the whole population, of course, withholding water, yes, because water is profit. Attacking all the hospital, stopping aid trucks in their tracks, yes, that's what they do. Genocide or war crimes or crimes against humanity, my answer is D, all the above. All the above. In the last piece, Silent, when you can't pay rent, like that sounds like a 21st century problem. When my mood flips, why can't I write shit? Or when I can't write shit. And then the last one, the orange cicada, why can't they go back into their golden hole? I don't know where they came from, whether it's golden or hellish. Whatever gate they came through, they can really just go back that way. Really, just go back. Appreciate you, Joski. Truly appreciate what you do and for sharing it with us. Shout out to Deneen, bro. All right, last person on the guaranteed list this evening, a newer member of our community, but has definitely come through and is definitely about this life. I'm telling you, the one and only Ray Whitaker, aka Eloquent Writer, in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It is great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Thanks for having me. I moved to Colorado about 3 years ago, and I was from North Carolina, from the mountains of North Carolina. I've been there a long time. And I say this because sometimes I write my poetry in Southern speak with all the y'alls and everything else. So this first one, I have two pieces for you tonight, and the first one's in Southern speak, and the other one's not so much. But it's not a fake thing for me. So, and both of my pieces tonight are on theme. I actually have several on PTSD, and but timing them when I was preparing, all of them were longer. It was hard for me to get my point across in some of them, so I'm just going to go ahead and start with these two shorter ones. This first one I'm going to read is been published this month in an anthology out of the Unsealed. It's called I Don't Have PTSD. When I wake up in the morning, most any day, everything isn't broken, lying about in ashen heaps. The smell, he smelled his buddies dead or dying, one smoking wheel of the sideways Hummer still turning. I can have an already always appreciation of a new day. Most any morning, rain or sun peering at me, there's blue sky in between the clouds, and the coffee is good. I don't have to clean up the empties or wipe dog poo up because I didn't let it out in time. That time of not being able to forget, all-encompassing. My good friend has it, though. It never fully leaves him. The self-recrimination either. where forgiveness ain't, nor the compassion just be missing. He fight this time and next for the clear blue. My friend has seen more of the dying than I will ever, even though after a career of hospital intensive care work, where my role in it were to stop the dying, his was to cause it, that there reddish black. When we look at each other in the eye, we know. Thank you. And my second one is called A Storm. I wrote it this month. Having suffered a violence from the family with knives out over Black Death's residues, the violence to the circumstances incised, red arterial blood flowing, then the gushes of heartbeat, initially untamponaded, eventually bandaged, then rebandaged again and again until the physical healing had caught a hold. Who's doing this? Why has that shadow come? When did that light turn to a gray dimness? There's no baseline to predict just when the mind will initiate it or when the lacerated love will return. With PTSD, the imagination sometimes works in ways that even the mind doing the imagining fails to understand. Time, that most profound healer, moves out of timelessness. An eclipse in the sky, we are grateful for the light to return. Thank you.
Yo. That cat said time moves out of timelessness. Golly. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Ray Whitaker.
Here you go, Ray.
That's amazing, man. Wonderful work.
You could tell those were hard things to confront, and it's difficult to find the language for that stuff. So it's a real act of courage sometimes, to confront that and to be able to do that. So thanks.
Sir, as I said, this is the work. Poems like this is the work, right? This isn't, we're having a good time talking about whatever, right? This is what we need to write about, right? For some of us like me who deal with these things on a regular basis, writing about them helps to maintain your control of it or over it. In the first part, in the first poem, you said he smelled his buddies dead or dying. That's just horrible. That smell never leaves you. When we look at each other in the eyes, we know, right? The second piece you mentioned, Black Death's residue, right? Why has this shadow come? That question. Why has this shadow come? That's a deep one for me. That one has a few different meanings. When the lacerated love returns. I don't know, man. Like, the mountains have done you well, sir. Right? Everyone can't exist up there. Sometimes the air is thin. But if you can, your inspiration comes from a very, very different source. And I appreciate you for harnessing it and writing it and sharing it with us. I look forward to all the work that you're going to share with us. I appreciate you, sir. Truly. All right. Let's get into this good luck round, folks. We have 4 beautiful, brave souls who are going to rock with us on the good luck round this evening. So let's get to it. Coming up first on the good luck round, this incredible poet continues to come through and rock with us and finds herself on the good luck round, right? But I think this is her mix because she rocks so hard on the good luck round. The one and only Debbie Segal in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Debbie. It is always great to see you. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm going to read off my screen. This pertains to the path to healing. All by myself, I survey the territory. Who can I show up for and show compassion towards when the person who needs compassion seems to be me? I have been self-disparaging now for so long, putting myself down, thinking I'm always wrong. As the master teaches, I am also a precious jewel, the only me in the universe, perfectly meing. So I can show up and show compassion to me. That looks like being kind and not critical to myself, to see my imperfections as part of being human, and to feel connected to the other humans, not isolated due to my flaws. To hold thoughts and feelings even when they hurt, not to push them away. To treat myself with warmth in hard times, to protect myself against rumination, to confront my own inadequacies and difficult situations, framing them as a part of life we all go through, to give support to myself as if I were my own best friend during hardship, to accept pain and loss as part of the human condition, to engage in self-appraisal with kindness and honor my humanness, to value my pursuit of happiness and my aversion towards suffering and behave accordingly, to be an internal empathizer and exploring my own experience with curiosity, to be in a gentle relationship, allowing all parts of my being to forgive myself. I am also a shining star, the only me in the whole universe, precisely, perfectly meing. And I can show compassion towards myself as I survey the territory all by myself. Dharma cannot be reduced to a self-help technique because Dharma cannot be reduced. When someone seeks the Dharma, they will not seek it in a self-help technique. Who am I to judge the path of another? I am just me, another nobody, the only me there is, perfectly, precisely, meing. Thank you.
I love that sentiment. Who am I to judge the path of another? Woo! Mute yourself. Give it up for Debbie Segal.
Yeah. I love that. Perfectly mean. That is perfect. I love that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Something so very real about that, Debbie. Something so very humbling about that, right? How you put that together. When the person that needs compassion seems to be me, right? Like I love how it just kind of, from my perspective, it kind of went back and forth. Like, no, I believe it. No, I don't. No, I believe it. No, I don't. Right? It's this seesaw belief, right? Like you're playing with you're playing, ego back and forth, like with this imposter syndrome, right? Your imposter syndrome is on one side and you're on the other side and you're volleying your ego back and forth. Like, no, it's no good. No, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate what you do. As you said, right? As the master teaches, I am also a precious jewel. See my imperfections as a part of being human, right? Hold thoughts and feelings even when they hurt. Give support to myself as if I were my own best friend. Damn it, y'all. If we could all just take that little piece of advice, we might be all right. Seriously. I am also a shining star. I can show compassion to myself. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for that. I don't know if y'all knew that, right? You can show compassion to yourself. I appreciate you for that. 3 more, folks. Coming up next, listen. You are about to be blessed. Your senses are about to be blessed by an incredible artist, an incredible writer, an incredible poet. I like to call him the Iron Chef of poetry. I can definitely tell you everything he thinks is in his mind. The one and only Generalissimo is in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you, Generalissimo. It is always great to see you, sir. Please take it away.
Thank you, Elemental. I'm going to do a really short one first that I found that I wrote a couple years ago that I probably only read once at a live event in Portland, Maine, and then forgot about. So it's called "Take the S at the end of the word words and move it to the wall." Every sword that cuts, that draws blood, that dismembers, that kills eventually becomes dull. Its owner may decide to remove the dried blood, to polish it and buff it till it shines, display it on a wall for others to ooh and ah at its grandeur, but its blade will lack sharpness. It will no longer be utilized for its forged purpose. It may no longer cut, draw blood, dismember, or kill, but it will always be a sword. And then I have this new poem for you I think you'll really like. It's called How to Pick a Perfect Watermelon. When I was a kid in Mobile, Alabama, Mom would drive us 4 miles west of the city line out to the small rural town of Sims. Pickup truck sliding the side of the road selling watermelon corn and jars of honey with chewy honeycomb suspended in the golden viscous nectar. When she bought a jar of honey, which was a very rare occasion, my brother and I couldn't wait to get home to chew on a chunk of honeycomb. Those sojourns to country roads were always about the watermelons, specifically sugar babies. As sweet as candy, these little dark green, stripeless, edible bowling balls with ruby red interiors were Southern delicacies. The men who parked their trucks on those sweltering summer days would often have sample melons they'd cut a plug from for the city folk waiting in line to get a taste. Every once in a while, the proprietor would pull a straw from a broom, place the straw on a melon, and if it twirled round and round, then we know the melon was ripe and ready to eat, not that they weren't anyways. The melon would be placed on the bottom shelf of the fridge to keep it cold till after supper. Dad would make burgers grilled with sliced onion in the center of the patty, topped with black magic, a blackening spice blend made for beef and pork that could only be gotten at the penny profit, my great uncle Reuben's butcher corner grocery on Julia Street in Montgomery. In 1935, when Uncle Reuben was searching for a location, he found the storefront. When he found the storefront on Julia Street, he considered it a sign from God because he was married to Aunt Julia. Mom always made either a carrot raisin salad or slaw, which was dressed with jerky, sandwich bread, and slaw dressing, a Southern pantry staple. Dad would put the buns in the oven directly on the oven grates with a damp paper towel on top. This method would both steam and toast the buns. We had special kosher dill pickles bought from a Jewish deli in Atlanta. He always had all the fixings, the pickles, lettuce, and juicy red tomatoes. My brother Paul would swirl mustard and ketchup on his to create makeshift barbecue sauce, while I was a mustard-only guy, and my oldest brother Alan used both mustard and mayo. If cheese was part of the burger, Dad would place a slice of Swiss on the burger for a couple of minutes on the grill. If we were lucky, Mom also bought some corn from the watermelon truck. Of course, my mother's sons were forced to shuck the husk and brush the silks from each ear of corn. They'd be boiled and stabbed with corn holders that looked like corn cobs. Then we slather butter and sprinkle salt and or pepper on the corn, or having added as an appetizer to our burgers and slaw, and of course, fresh brewed Louisiana brand iced tea or Coca-Cola to drink because Pepsi is a sin in the South. Then came the sugar babies with ice-cold, ruby red, juicy, crispy interiors that Mom expertly sliced with knife skill speed that would put Bobby Flay to shame. Eating a slice of sugar baby required wearing a napkin as a bib so the sweet juices wouldn't permanently stain my shirt. It was always the best part of the meal. It was the perfect palate cleanser that primed our taste buds to remind us future similar summer suppers were in the near future. Thank you, everyone.
Telling you, this guy, every single time, he just serves it up he just does it. Unmute yourself, give it up for Generalissimo.
Whoa. Y'all got it right.
I think my ears just gained some weight.
Facts. Like, I didn't know that poems could make me gain weight. But listen, the heaviness of such a meal, in the best of ways, not empty calories. I'm talking about that quality. Oh man, like, and listen, I really love the truthfulness in that first poem, right? Even though a blade will, lack sharpness, right? It will always be a sword. Love that. How to pick a watermelon. Sir, anytime you get a chance to go on some country back road and somebody's selling you some sort of fruit, buy it. Buy it. Buy as many as you can. The honey, same way. Buy them, right? That is the most natural stuff that you're going to get, right? He said chewing on the honeycomb, right? Sample melons. He said he cut a plug from it. Like, that's just country as hell, right? 1935, right? I'm gonna try that trick, sir. So I appreciate you throwing that in your poem about putting the bun on the grill of the oven with the paper towel over it, right? With the towel over it to steam and toast the bun at the same time. I'm definitely gonna be trying that. The pickle's beautiful. Mustard only, sir. That's just how it goes. Everybody who knows me, mustard only. That's just how it goes. Can't go wrong with mustard only. Appreciate you, Generalissimo. Always love the dishes that you serve up because they are so absolutely delectable. Two more folks on the list. I'm going to get y'all out of here. Coming up next, this alphabet master will blow your brains with what he does. I promise you. We just had a conversation recently, and listen, some mind-blowing. This is coming your way very, very soon. The one and only Kazi Kaz in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. Kaz, great to see you, homie. Please, take it away.
All right, hello, everyone. Hello, Elemen2al. How is everybody doing? It has been a minute since I've been here. Man, these last few months have been crazy. But I am here, thankfully. All right, so, and I have this piece which ties into today's topic. This is fairly new shit, actually. This one is titled Eloquent Tears. Excuse me. When a newborn cries, it's because of all of the lies it's been told before its first breath even arrives. And when the children sing, it's because of all of the pain they're still trying to hide that still stings, resonates, and forever resides in the ringing of their ears as it scornfully thrives to keep every possible fear ever known to man alive until every human that exists ultimately dies. I wonder, did Adam reprimand Cain for having slain Abel? Or was Cain enabled by Adam and Eve getting it on in the stable at the time? At the time of my brother's keeper's horrendously heinous crime, meant to ultimately define the ultimate design of this and every single other forcefully designed and irrevocably maligned civilization within the systematically broken state of mankind. I've come to unfortunately find my way to the bottom of the inordinately unkind truth, which I inevitably had to search for and comb with a fine tooth. I do, however, wonder why the weeping willows wept. What was it that could have caused them to so uncontrollably cry such an unfortunately unholy lullaby as I reveled in the slumber in which I so peacefully slept? And my dreams, they have nightmares of waking up in the midst of falling, They cry out in the middle of the night, but no one can seem to ever hear them calling. It's like their greatest fears have fallen on the silent cries and deaf ears of all of the tears that continue to keep bawling. I'm in a highly fragile state of mind at this very delicate point in time during this heroically stoic voyage of mine, in which hopefully I can poetically open the closed eyes of the more than regrettably and hopelessly blind. Fortunately for the world, my intestinal fortitude forces me to keep on going and keep trying. So it's not like I have any other choice in this divine melting pot of a celestially misaligned concoction cosmically designed to quiet the power of my voice through the adoption of evil's universal design. I swear this poem's on the verge of making me start crying. Honestly, I'm not lying. Every day my tears continue to keep steadily applying the pressure, which ends up resulting in me ultimately defying the signs of the times tables, which I've been silently unable to define in these unjust and harshly unstable times. Like the fables of history. But see, my spirit has spoken, confirming that my heart has been shattered more times than it's ever been broken. So I gotta remain smoking and stay open to the idea that hope can always be revoked and sent away on a boat floating from here all the way to Hoboken. So I'ma definitely need some tokens for the toll it's been taken on my heart that has been breaking. But no matter what, I still know that I can never relinquish hoping. Thank you.
Yo, your style is ridiculous, bro. Like absolutely ridiculous, bro. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Kazi.
That was ridiculous. Woo!
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that, man, so much. Thank you. I try to be as ridiculous as possible. I try to stretch the limits of the human brain and imagination with vocabulary, you know what I mean? And just take it as far as I can. And I'm so
really good. Really, really good. I like that.
Yeah, love the flow, love the flow. It was amazing.
Yeah. That's what I like when you go extreme.
Right.
Yeah. I appreciate that you appreciate that. Thank you, man. For real.
We've done the tame. We've done the same, right? It's all the same. It all sounds the same, right? We have to snap, right? We have to snap those fibers, you know, that are keeping us trapped in what they say is good or not. You know what I'm saying? He said when a newborn cries, I love that. When the children sing, all the pain they're still trying to hide. Did Adam reprimand Cain for slaying Abel? I don't know, man. The broken state of mankind, right? Search for a comb with a fine tooth, right? Unfortunately, unholy lullaby. My dreams have nightmares. I fucking love that. All the tears that continue to keep bawling, right? Poetically open the eyes. On the verge of crying. My spirit is my spirit is spoken. My heart has been shattered more times than it's been broken. Fuck, man. What? At this point, it just looks more like a collage than a heart, man. Like I feel you on that. Man, I appreciate you, Kaz. That cat, I'm telling you, that cat style is ridiculous, man. You will hear something coming crazy very soon. All right. Let's end the night with the brethren. Love when this cat comes through, hanging out with us, going to rip it as he always does, closing us out this evening. The one and only Marlon Thompson in the building. Let these folks know where they can find you. It's great to see you, brother. Please take it away.
Hey, good night, poetry family. Yeah, so tonight I'll be sharing something that I think it's close to the theme, which is the restoring the love. So the theme is path to healing PTSD. So I'm restoring the love. So question, how would you write a eulogy for a 5-year-old whose dreams have been shattered by bullets from a smoking gun? How could we? How can we dance in the streets when gunshots echo in the air. How will we? How do we falsify information about another's character with malicious intent to destroy their hard work? How dare we? Can we really pass the blind that need a helping hand for someone to take them to the other side of the streets? Where are we? Will we fill our stomach and sit comfortably, knowing there are hungry children in our streets? Really, we're wonderful people. How did our hearts get so cold? Have we lost our souls? Let us restore the love that will warm our hearts, folding our arms around it like a mother's embrace. Let us stop the venomous attacks and create a love, peace, and kindness. Let us restore compassion without fear of looking foolish. Let us restore kindness even if it's not trendy. Let us stop the social degradation and return to our moral obligation. Let us find the HEART to love that demonstrates the ART of love. Let us not allow fear and hate to spread like wildfires. If we restore the love, it can be our common denominator. This we could use as our currency for the future. Let us paint peace, love, and kindness on the canvas of our minds that it will forever be etched in our hearts. Let us be united in our effort to love in this country. Let love be the pillow on which we lay our heads, and peace the place we spread our beds. Let us repair broken relationships so we can be made whole. Let us change the atmosphere of distorted morality into an atmosphere of love and unity. Let us forgive those who have made restitution for damage they have done for fellow men. Let us repair harm and heal wounds so we can avoid the tears of war. Let us restore conflict peacefully and right the wrongs. We all have made mistakes. Certainly, we have wronged others. However, let us tear down the fences of hatred, the barbed wires of hurt, and the wall of resentment. Let violence be crushed to atoms, explode into a volcano of love, and watered with a tsunami of joy. Thank you.
That's landslide damage. He said a tsunami of joy. A tsunami of joy. Unmute yourself, give it up for Marlon Thompson.
Man, I love that.
Beautiful,
That's a
beautiful.
description right there.
It was a really great invocation to all those really positive values. You really packed that full. I don't think you could say anything more than that, Marlon.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
I agree. The fervency, right? The passion that you delivered those things, right? That is what your prime minister, any country's prime minister, needs to hear, right? How can we dance when there are hungry children in the street? How would you write a eulogy for a 5-year-old? Right? How about put down the people who don't deal in words on a regular basis, right? They like to throw that on us because we deal in words. How about throwing it back on someone who can't find the words all the time? You write the eulogy. How about that? Better yet, how about you write a Bullet's eulogy? For those of us, you know what I mean? If you want us to encapsulate all these horrible things, okay, fine. I'll write the eulogy for the 5-year-old, but you're going to have to write the eulogy for the bullet that killed him. How about that? And we'll see. And we'll see. But I love poems like this, right? Because they call out even the person who's so far back. It's like, oh, I didn't know that was going on. I didn't even know that was happening in the world. No. Let me remind you, right? Love can be our common denominator, right? The currency of the future. Let love be the pillow on which we lay our heads, right? We can avoid years of war, years Years. Let us tear down the fences of hatred. Man, that sounds like universal truth to me, right? Every man of every faith, every being of every faith can embrace. It's those types of lessons. This is why I wish the presidential candidates would actually be in here instead of blowing smoke up each other's culo. We might actually be getting some things done, right? We might. I appreciate you, Marlon, for doing what you do, right? I think next time you get a chance to share poetry in your community, you need to share that poem with them, that poem in particular. Listen, folks, we have reached the end of the night. It has been an amazing one, right? And I knew it would be. This is a very heavy theme. This is a very difficult issue, right? It's an ongoing issue. So many people are dealing with this around the world. Make sure you are checking in with your people. If you know they're struggling, reach out to them, all right? There are numbers, there are hotlines. This is one of the reasons why I keep these things on me, man. There are so many things, all right? Shout out to the veterans in the building. There's so many things going on in this world, folks. Again, as I said, make sure you are checking in on your folks. Another one of our community members, shout out the Queen Ray James, shout out Thunderlung, is going through some things. So sending her all types of peace and blessings and healing energy for her family as they're dealing with some difficult times. Shout out to the Magus Gust of Solace, sending him healing energy. Wanted to shout out Doug Silver, Mr. Tezasomo, CP Mays. Shout out Tabs. Shout out CCR Chagra. They're dealing with some weather issues, so hopefully the power gets back on in their area very soon. Listen, it has been an amazing night. I can't thank you all just enough for being members of the greatest community in the world, for rocking with us every single Thursday. Your energy makes all the difference here, folks. I love all of you. I thank you so much. We're going to end the night like this. Until we meet again. May this energy we conjured this evening supercharge the rest of your week. Take this power, inspire others, energize creativity as we all hope to do through the spirit of Miguel Agarin. Your voice is appreciated, necessary, and always valuable in this space. Thank you for sharing it with us. On behalf of the greatest community in the world, it has truly been a pleasure spending Thursday night with y'all. Until next week, y'all. Peace.